So I decided to look at the year 2018 from a new light, from a new standpoint, and hopefully to get a message across to all of you people out there who just don't seem to be listening. Here's the deal. Instead of fighting me so hard, guys, on what my living situation is, or saying I'm a drug addict or an alcoholic, or I cuss, or I listen to non-secular music, none of that matters. Here's what matters, okay? I do not put myself on a pedestal above anybody else. Look at my very living situation. However, when I tell you guys truly that I am a messenger, that I'm a warrior for God, that I will die for God, I mean that. And for you guys to not believe it, it's okay. There will be non-believers. Look what they did to Jesus. Jesus, King of Kings. Here's what God put upon my heart. Or, like I said, I can't say God came down and spoke to me, or that God told me to do this. I don't know why I worry so much what all you think, because I've been trying to get a very important message across to all of you before it's too late. All of you quote-unquote prophets, or people who claim to be prophets out there, members of the cloth, men of the church, whatever, women of the church, who claim to, want to help the homeless and you want to give to the needy, then do what Jesus did and go out into a field and perform or, worship God in a field like Jesus did. What did he do in the temples? He overturned the tables. There were businesses. That's all the churches are today, most of them. It's all about business. It's all about recording their live videos for for Facebook or for, Periscope or whatever they're on, okay? Or, gosh forbid, we're dealing with a real situation. I remember going to a church one time and trying to help this poor homeless man that was lost, or with a very serious situation, and having a member of the church say, "Shh, you're being too loud. We're trying to record." Oh, gosh forbid I interrupt your video to deal with a very real situation that no one seems to care about anymore. It's not about some prosperity gospel, guys. You guys have it all wrong. And today, or this year, actually, I'm going to take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to finally just drill into you guys, because that's what has to be done. Because the other avenue I've taken, or the other way I've tried to spread this message, I'm so frustrated I can't even come out with the words, but the other way I've tried to convey this message, it's not working. No one's listening. And I don't know if it's due to the fact that people either think I'm crazy or I'm on something, which I don't really care what they think. But they're not listening. So why they're not listening to me, I don't know. But they should be. And I'm going to tell you why. Maybe using the Bible will really help you guys to I'm not saying all of you, because some of you have opened the eyes of your heart. And I think that's where Sandy comes into play, or Catherine, or these people that just give and give. And they don't ask, they just give without question, guys. They see something that maybe the rest of you don't. Okay? And maybe I can explain this to you a little clearer, because I don't know what's more frustrating, the fact that I am in the situation that I'm in, and that I'm looked down upon, or looked at as basically as trash, or why don't you just get your life together, when on the other hand God is trying to teach all of you a lesson. Can you guys not wrap your head or extrapolate upon the fact that maybe homeless people, or people that are down and out and destitute, or that have cancer, or that are in wheelchairs, or deaf or blind, or have some type of handicap, that we were put here? And originally I wasn't put on this earth like that. I wasn't born homeless. I wasn't born living in the shed, guys. It happened to me. The point I'm trying to make is, why can't you guys see that it's not about your big jobs and your big cars and the kind of clothes you wear, and the fact that you don't have to eat food out of a dumpster, or oh, God forbid, wear used clothes and not buy them at Neiman Marcus. Do you really think that God's going to care about, your Porsche or your Mercedes or your South Pole shoes when you get into heaven? Or hell, for that matter? You think the devil's going to care? I mean, seriously, guys, You need to focus on what's important, and that is not this world here. Now, if you have children, yes, you guys got to build a foundation for them, all that. But look, what I'm saying is, yeah, do whatever you need to do to get your life done, blah, blah, blah. But before it's too late, guys, you have to heed the message. And it may not be necessarily my message because people aren't heeding it. You know what I did? I went this morning and I went on Messenger, and I know it was New Year's, but, you know, there were people up at like 4:30 in the morning on Messenger, and everybody that was live on Messenger, everybody, I sent them a little message saying, please, I'm going to be live on Facebook for about the next half hour. I would like you to come in there and join me, and if you do come in there, I will give you a special personal message, kind of like the thing I do with my Bible thing, and I think it works, for you. And do you know that not one person came in there? Not one. Now, maybe they're not religious. Maybe they don't even believe in God. Maybe they're atheist. But I really think that God has bolstered me this year. That God has finally put that, not just the armor of God on me, but I'm gleaming, okay? This year is going to be the year of answers for me. I'm doing a huge social experiment that's going to involve all of you. And you may not like it, but guess what? I don't care. Because it's going to be the truth. And it's what you all need to hear before it's too late. Now, please, don't get this twisted, guys. Look at me. My own daughter walked away from me. My own parents don't want anything to do with me. And you've seen, people just don't get along with me. I don't have friends. Heck, even pastors of churches tell me things like, well, that's why I live the life that I live, and you live in a shed, and you go to church every week because you're so hungry and you don't want to eat out of a dumpster, only to be forced to go sit, in church and listen to, you have the life that you live because of the decisions you made, and I'm just thinking to myself, Lord, give me the strength. I live the life that I live because God put me here, because you're missing the message that God put me in your life for, because you're ignoring it or you just don't want to see it. Now, who does that? Now, maybe you weren't doing that intentionally. And I'm not just talking to one person, okay? Just like that person says, well, if I'm preaching in church and you feel that a message is personally, directed towards you, then you're the guilty one. Well, guess what? I throw that right back at you. It just cracks me up, guys. If somebody is hungry, if someone is homeless and they need food and they're having to eat out of a dumpster or eat rotten food or food that hasn't been refrigerated or kept to right temperature, and you're telling them they already got the food box for the month, or turning them away when you know you have food, or who does that? Is that Christian? Is that what God wants? Churches, guys. Guys that are, hurry up, feed the homeless within the hour. But looking at their watches, hurry up, we got to get home, we got to go watch the football game, or whatever it may be. Is that what God wanted? No. So maybe all these people, all these wolves in sheep's clothing that, the flock is following, maybe they just need to wake up and realize that even that wolf in the sheep's clothing is human. It's okay. They're not perfect. So every leader in every church in this world, they're not perfect. But everybody's missing the whole point. And what's funny is God will send somebody like me. And again, I'm not a prophet. I'm not an angel. I don't claim to be. But send somebody like me to basically, in my opinion, test the rest of you to see how you're going to react. And how few have helped me. And I'm not saying that, now people are going to say, because there is one person online saying, well, she's begging the church to feed her and she's begging people to help her. No, I'm not. The few people that have helped me, I'm very, very blessed, and I'm very thankful. And I give back by paying it forward. And half of them won't even let me pay them forward. Okay? So let me go into what I wanted to discuss with all of you. The point that most of you are missing, okay? Jesus was homeless from the day he was born. From all, well, except for the exception of his childhood. But all his adult life, and even in death, Jesus was homeless, guys. Hello, did you hear me say that? You want me to say it one more time? Jesus was homeless. So when you guys treat me the way you do, or treat other homeless people the way you do, just remember this. You're treating Jesus that way. How's that make you feel? How's that for having the shoe on the other foot? God told me not to get angry, so I'm not going to, okay? Jesus even remarked to Judas Iscariot, I believe it's John 12:8, we always have the homeless with us. Or you always have, you're always around these degenerates, basically, is what he said. You know what I'm saying? But look at Jesus, like I told you guys, he wasn't born into a grand palace. He was born into an animal food trough. Did you guys hear me? A messy, stinky barn. People want to make fun of my shed. I made a joke about this Christmas, how it's basically just like the stable. I'm just missing the cows and the pigs and the manure. Jesus, King of Kings. Is anybody getting this? Because I will go on further. So maybe people will see the error of their ways, okay? Again, not saying I'm, sinless or perfect. I'm not. But I was called to do a job for God, and nobody wants to listen. So this will be my attempt in hopes that people will listen, okay? So let me go on, if I may. And let's see if my video's at 11:36. Oh, people got to get to work. People got to go do underwater basket weaving. They got to go shampoo their dog, dye their dog's hair, do whatever it is they got to do. They don't want to listen to this. But any of you who are still listening, thank you. I will continue, okay? When Jesus was born into this food trough, into the dirty stable, it didn't end there. In case all of you forgot, his parents were on the run, okay? Jesus and Mary were on the run. They were fugitives, okay? They were running to escape the murderous, treacherous intentions of King Herod the Great. Isn't it funny they called him the Great, okay? Jesus, basically, from the time he was a baby, was a homeless bum on the run. That's what he was, guys. Wow, is anybody getting the point yet? Let me go on then, because it probably isn't sinking in yet. I've been trying how long now? Again, God said not to be sarcastic or angry, so I will digress. Here we go. Okay? When Jesus was in Nazareth growing up with his parents, he did live in a house. Well, during his childhood. However, the minute he became reborn, or he was baptized by John the Baptist, that's basically when he became homeless, okay? Like his true career of being homeless, okay? That's when he started his ministry with the homeless. I believe it said something about even the foxes, okay, have holes to burrow into and be safe in. And even birds have nests way high up in the tree, guys, where they can be safe. Do you see the analogy Jesus was making there? Does anybody see it? Okay? He was basically saying that even the animals had a place to feel safe and secure, whereas Jesus didn't. He didn't have that safety and security. He didn't even have any place to lay his head. Once again, guys, hello, would you like me to tell you again? Sorry, sarcasm. Once again, Jesus comparing himself or likening himself to a homeless person. Anyway, if you guys want to look that up, that's Matthew, I believe, Matthew 8:20 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. But there's another one like Luke 9:58 too. I do remember that. So I think they can tie in with each other. I think they do tie in with each other. So I'm on a roll here, okay? I hope that this makes you guys see that instead of judging me or these other homeless people, anyway, I want to say this the right way, so I'm not going to say what I wanted to say. But you all know what you do. You all know what you think. You all know what your underlying breaths are saying. You all know what you're not saying out loud, that you're saying in your head, that you think I'm doing or other homeless people are doing. But you're wrong. I'm going to tell you one more time, 10 more times, 100 more times. You're wrong. This is why I believe God puts people like me, messengers, warriors, that have a very special message to share with the rest of you before it's too late. But who's listening? See, God has such a sense of humor. He puts us in these vicarious positions, these low-life, degenerate, looked down upon, spit upon, ignored, forgotten people, to see how you guys are going to respond. And how few do. And how often do you? Oh yeah, it's very nice that once a year on Christmas we get fed. But did you guys hear what I just said? He puts people such as myself in low life, degenerate, lower than low positions to test the rest of you, to see how you're going to react, how you're going to respond, or if you're even going to help them. And do you? Do you truly help them, or only when it's convenient for you? Ask yourself that question, okay? Because me even being homeless, guys, not naming any names, there was a friend of mine who had everything taken away from them, and I made sure that hopefully that her, through somebody else, that her family had Christmas. Or what about the girl from the rescue mission who called me and probably was too embarrassed to call anybody else, but called me, I guess, because the way I look at it is she didn't have to be embarrassed, to talk to me about her problem. And I got her the help. I got her, I didn't want her coming to my shed, but do you see, even homeless, I help people, guys, because that's what God calls of us. Let me move on. You know how I tend to go off on my tangents. But anyway, like I said, Jesus didn't have that security, just like us homeless people don't, okay? He was sleeping rough. He was out on the street sleeping rough, for his whole life, He didn't even die in a house or a hospital with the way most people do. Okay? The King of Kings, Lord of Lords, God himself, okay, guys, was made to face slow torture for the entertainment of others. How cruel is that? So, every day that you guys ridicule me, call me crazy, think whatever you want, whatever it is you do, that's the same thing as what they did to Jesus. The torture that I endure on a daily basis, I can't compare it to the torture Jesus did, but I'm likening it. I'm comparing it. That Jesus, we are the face of Jesus. Homeless people are the face of Jesus, guys. Can't you guys see that? Can't you? What bigger point was Jesus trying to make about being homeless than being stripped, guys? Stripped of his clothes. He had no clothes when he was nailed to that cross. Yeah, to be made a cruel joke of. I know how it feels to be made a cruel joke of. I really do. Now, I'm not even the son or daughter of God. Can't imagine what he had to endure, okay, guys? For us. He had to sit there and suffer. And remember when they put the crown of thorns on his head? Yeah, well, when they put that crown of thorns on Jesus' head is when you guys all patronize the homeless. Like, I'll give you an example. A boss of mine at Jimmy John's. I'll just tell you the truth. Texting me on Christmas. Did he think I didn't realize what was going on? How dare they do that? Because when you guys do that and you make these underlying jokes and pretend like you care when you don't, I notice what's going on. I'm not stupid. I just don't want you to know that I know what's going on. But how dare you do that? Because when you do that to me and to the rest of us who are down and out on our luck, it's the same as putting a crown of thorns on Jesus' head. Okay?